Hey, everybody, we are back. Thank you so much for joining us again. This morning, I have, and yes, it's morning here. It's 9 a.m. Pacific, and it's noon, Miss Noon over there, East Coast.
You know, I'm not a morning person, not even a
Not a
little
morning
bit.
person. I am totally a morning person. Something happens to me at 6 a.m. Ding! I could go to bed at like 2 a.m. and I'm just like, ding! I can't stay
Mm.
in bed. I have to. I
No,
can always take a nap later. I don't
I
know.
have way too much routine that I'm just no,
No, you just know. Well,
no.
thank you for joining me. This is my friend Jenny Love, and she is my East Coast Witchy Poo friend. And I know you got some ghost stories.
I do. I have a few. I love this. I told my people on the TikTok that we were doing this today, and I said I made it like actually my husband and I talked about it. I was like, we have ghost stories, right? We have ghost stories, and he's like, yeah, the shop, and I'm like, oh right.
Yeah.
So I started
See,
writing some things down.
that's a
Um,
thing. That is a thing because, we're like, because if anybody cancels on me, because I've got 31 people signed up for this, like this schedule is like ridiculous. I
wow,
mean, it
awesome!
is
I love
ridiculous. From all over the world. And I'm just like, okay, I'm
that.
like, Bear, if we have somebody that cancels on us, do we have enough ghost stories? And he's looking at us like, you
Right?
think we don't?
And my husband would love Mr. Rogue Witch would love nothing more than to be a ghost hunter. I kid you not. Like he would love this. He would be one of those people with like equipment and things, and yeah, he would love that. So we sort of seek it out sometimes too. Like we've been known to sort of seek that out.
Yeah.
Um I in the shop, I used to own a brick and mortar in Highland Falls, New York.
Hmm.
And while we were opening, I got really good energy. Highland Falls is right outside of West Point Military Academy. It's right on the Hudson. There's a lot of history there. I think that's where
Hmm.
like the historic of Rip Van Winkle sort of came in there along the Hudson there, and Henry Hudson. There's a lot going on there. And I always felt like the energy, there was also a stream that went right by the shop, like almost underneath it. And so I
Uh-huh.
felt like there was a lot of, goings on there.
Uh-huh.
And while we were renovating to move in, we renovated for a month or so to move in. And a couple of times there would be people mistaking the fact that they thought they saw me outside. Like they kept saying, like, or they would walk in and say something like, didn't she just walk in? Or like it was a weird thing. And then I started to pay attention. And after the opening, people, come to visit, and they walked in, and she was like, "Were you just outside the door?" I was like, "All right, no." And she goes, "It's funny because it didn't look like you. It seemed there's a dark, and I've already described the dark haired lady, right? The
Hmm.
dark haired lady. Everybody but me saw this dark haired lady. I don't see things. I'm not one of those clairvoyant folks. I just don't see it. I don't know why. Um, so I was
Because you'd be too powerful, baby. You'd be too
Oh no, like
powerful.
I would love to be that. I would love to be. Uh-oh, I lost her.
Oh,
What
no, I'm
happened?
here.
Oh,
I'm
there you
here.
are. You
I'm
just
here.
went. I got the little scrolly thing. Oh,
That's
maybe
okay.
it's me. So I'm working all morning, and I think it was the day we were closed. And my partner walks in,
Mm.
and she says something like, she looked around, and I go, "What?" She's like, "Where?" I go, "No." So we had this woman that came and went, and people saw her constantly walking in and out, in and out, in and out. It was just the weird. I have no. I called her Mary. I don't know why. Just that popped into my head. I have no idea.
Hmm.
But everybody saw this dark haired woman, like at the shop, and I just decided she was, you know, part of the shop. I don't know. I felt like she came with the shop. I had no idea who she was. It's an old town. It's an old building, and
Uh-huh.
we had this cat. We had a shop cat, but not a shop cat anyone could see.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
the
Yep.
other
Yep.
thing in the shop, because people would constantly go,
Mhm.
they look around, they go, "Do you have a cat?" And I was like, "No, what color was it?" And they're like, "White." If you don't, I'm like, "Well, what color?" I asked everybody what color it was. It was always black. And
Uh-huh.
I would say, because when we were, again, renovating, I think renovating must have, kicked some people up and woke
Yep.
some folks up. And so the cat, I would say, doesn't anybody smell cat? Not like just, I don't know, not like awful, but just, I don't know, like cat litter or cat food, just cat, you know? And I'm like, you
Yeah.
don't smell cat? I smelt it all the time. And so one night I was home and I have 2 cats and
Uh-huh.
there was shenanigans downstairs, utter shenanigans. And I walked down the stairs to find out what the fuck was happening at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I went like this, and I promise you, the person who's not clairvoyant saw there were 3 fucking cats. And I went like that. And I was like,
Like,
oh, hell
what?
no. I was like, you've got to go back to the shop. You don't live here. We must get rid of you. And so the next day when I was there, I was like, let's go. I was like, we are going to the shop. Like, I was like, no. I was like, we got it. And then I had heard some funny tale about when you do see a phantom cat, like it's bad mojo sent to you. And I was like, yes.
Oh,
That's
no.
something about the folk tale, not catch a tiger by the toe. That's not it. Something about cat's tail. There's something about a cat's tail. I don't remember what it was, but it was something, it's an old wives' tale about a cat, phantom cat specifically. It's sort of like someone coming to you. It could be like I don't know what's the word I'm looking. Maybe somebody sent you something, you know.
Interesting.
It's wrapped up as a cat. Yeah. And so then I asked for the cat to show me who the fuck they were. I never saw that cat again.
Interesting. Isn't that interesting? That right there is just like, oop, 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 gotta run.
I never saw that cat again.
I've had 3 ghost cat experiences. One was in New Orleans in an antique shop that was curled underneath a haunted, the whole place. I mean, it's right across the way from Cafe Beignet. Mm-hmm. The one that's right, and I like Cafe Beignet so much better than Dumont. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do too.
Cafe Beignet.
I literally was just there in August for a week. Yeah,
I know. I follow you on all those
on all the things and my big mouth.
I was living vicariously through you because I had surgery, so I'm like bed bound. I'm like, what's Jenni doing?
How are you after that?
What was that?
How are you after the surgery?
You know what? Healing from surgery at 47 is not healing from surgery at 27. No. I think I was frustrated because I don't do down very well because I'm very busy. I got a lot of stuff moving. I'm the glue that holds everything together, and I'm like, don't like being down, and I don't like feeling useless, right?
Right.
And I know the house isn't being cleaned to my standards. And I'm just sitting there from a bed watching. I'm mean mugging, the entire time. And my sweet husband's doing everything he can, but he's only one man. He's only one man.
He's only one person.
Yes. And so I had to in my Virgo-ness, let shit go and be uncomfortable and not be able to take pain meds because I can't handle them. So I just managed everything with, Tylenol and getting high. Lots of edibles. It was a great time. September what? I don't Exactly.
I'm very high tech.
Exactly.
I don't, it's funny. I'm not to get off the subject, but I'm very high tech. I'm like, I just don't want to mess or I don't like a lot of fuss. I don't want there to be fuss and things and shenanigans and pieces of things. No. I need it to be very done. Right.
Easy peasy.
I love it.
Easy peasy.
That's so funny.
Easy peasy. You know what? Our life is hard enough. Why do we need to, jump through more hoops? God damn it.
I have to say, I am having a good time. I will admit to having a good time at the moment, only because I'm back to being self-employed and I super love that. So
I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you that you stuck it to that, legal. I've worked for lawyers, and as an admin or as an assistant, I'm telling you, I would rather go back to hospitality and deal with assholes on the daily than work for lawyers again.
Well, I worked for a lawyer for 25. Not to, again, we're off the ghost stuff. I worked for a lawyer for 25 years. The same lawyer for 25 years. He is a saint. I loved him, and I would have, he just retired, and then I went to work for a slew of morons, and then this law firm I've never seen so many abusive, toxic people in one area in my entire fucking life that I
And then the
left on a Friday.
egos,
I
and then
left
they
on a
play off of
Friday
their
morning.
egos, and then the egos, right?
I've
It's
never seen
like,
anything
what's
like it.
happening?
I've
Yeah,
never seen anything like it. Friday morning, I walked in with my sad little boxes, packed my sad little boxes, and walked in and out of and everybody's
what's happening?
like,
Bye.
yeah. And then I hit
Seriously.
live on my website, and I'm very happy to still be doing this myself. So thank you for still talking to me.
Of course, of course. I worked for, I'm trying to think. There's one, two, three. There are 5 lawyers that I worked for. There was one, two, three that did family law, 2 that did, um, what is it, residency or immigration, and then one, two, three, because they kind of overlapped. And then they also did criminal law.
Hmm.
Oh my God. And then it was in the west side of San Antonio where I really needed to speak Spanish, and it really just my ancestors should have taught me Spanish. They really should have.
Oh, well,
Anyway,
mine didn't teach me Italian. So
what is up with us? Like over that generation that kind of got lost. They
no,
wanted
that's
us to
very
be
calculated.
American.
That's very calculated. That's very calculated on their part. It was very calculated. They did not want us to be other.
Yep.
They wanted us to blend in with the upper echelon. They didn't want us to be that. That was why, So we're all trying to piece it back together.
I
That's what we're
know.
all trying to do. I'm trying to piece it back
Well,
together.
as the notary, apparently in Mexico, the notary is also like a judge. And I had this thing where these 2 guys came in. One was like crying and stressed out, and the other guy was like all mad or whatever. Th're only speaking Spanish. And I'm over here on Babelfish
I don't
translation,
know.
trying to understand what's going on. There's something about he's feeding one person's cat, and the other guy wants his cat back. And like, so I go and I'm like reading from a screen. Okay. So you need to stop feeding the cat. Okay, so my immigration attorney is on the other side cracking up at this whole exchange. So the one guy I'm just like, I'm like, go in peace, take your cat back, right? And he was like jumping for joy, leaving. I'm just like, what just happened? I don't get paid.
I don't blame you. I would have ran for the hills. I've quit jobs for less, for sure. I've quit jobs for less.
For sure. For sure.
So what was some of the other, I wish I had more. When I say I wish, because like I said, my husband and I go looking for it. And I said, when we moved into this house, my niece, who's quite the medium, and I think that she tracks it. I think, well, let me not attract it. Let me retract that. She goes to where they go. You know what I mean? Her presence and consciousness goes to where they are.
Oh, wow.
She can't help it. So when she's here, and she used to, this used to be her room. She felt attacked by shadow people in this space. And my husband and I, who don't see things, when we got here, we definitely did. And I think me being me, and I mean, this is my office. This is where I do readings and healings, and so I think I got rid of them, because I definitely feel like they're not around anymore. But one attached itself, I will say, do you remember the eclipse?
Yes. The eclipse moon or the eclipse sun?
Like a few years ago, like in Tennessee, might have been where it was a full eclipse. It was like the only place in the United States where it was a full on eclipse in the middle of the afternoon. Okay.
Yeah, I was in San Antonio. I actually left like a meeting. I said, "Oh, I got to go get more copies of something." And
I don't know if this constitutes ghost story, but it definitely was supernatural for sure. I feel I brought one. I had this attachment from, I don't know if it was here, because it started here, I feel like. So it could have been one of the, everybody says shadow people aren't, fabulous. And I would always catch them out of the corner of my eye, but I felt like I really got, sort of past them all. And then it got overwhelming. Like I would even be outside and feel like somebody was standing behind me, and I would constantly do this. So then there's that eclipse. And Erin and I thought it would be a really good idea to have a ritual that day.
Oh, How'd that go?
Actually fucking had people in the shop. I don't remember what the ritual was. Like, I don't remember what the ritual was, but I wish I had one here. I make incense bottle burners out of a wine bottle.
I
So
know.
you have the wine bottle. You have to drill a hole in it so that the air circulates, right? We have it burning. It's fucking incense. Okay. It's incense. We have it burning. It's on the altar. It's sort of behind me. So I'm not really paying attention to it. All of a sudden, we turn around. It's everything that could possibly go wrong. The lights go out in the building. We have zero power. Then we're still trying. I have people. Like, I'm a business owner. You have fucking people in the shop. You're like, okay, show must go on, right?
Yeah.
So we do it again. We keep going. And I'm like, motherfucker. I turn around. There's flames shooting out of the bottle. Like there was a heat. Like there was a gasoline source coming out. Right. The bottle melts and crack. Like, because there's a stress from from where I drill the hole. So now it cracks because it literally melts. Well, I can't pick the thing up because it's liquid fucking glass at this point. I mean, it was ridiculous, right? We get everything out. We end this ritual, and we're sitting there. I'm like, all right, I call my girlfriend, and she's like, all right, hang on. And she does her thing. She's like I forget what kind of healing she does, but she's like, you have an attachment. I was like, she's like, what are you doing over there? I was like,
what are you doing?
She's like, just hang on. She's like, she was like, fucking, oh, I kid you not. I could see her in her house. Like, if I could picture her, like, like slinging things together. And she was just, and I had to sit there in the shop, and fucking Aaron's like, we had to get rid of this fucking thing. It was hysterical.
Oh my God.
It was a good idea to have a full-on ritual during a humongous eclipse. Not me. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. While you have a shadow person attached to you from your house, it's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. And oh God, I hate shadow people. I would rather deal with full apparition, entities, and even intelligent ones, even if they need something from me or whatever, but the fucking shadow people, it is just low level bullshit. I mean, and they're just malevolent. They are just out to
and I guess I didn't realize that. Like, people tell me that now. Like, I think at that point I realized that. Like, I didn't realize that because I would see them, and you do your thing. And then it was then that she said, yeah, they're not sweet. Not sweet. I'm like, I guess I didn't realize that. And even my niece doesn't see them anymore here. Like, she doesn't now, because I'm pretty sure they don't hang around here.
You're locked in. You've kind of like taken your space back. That's how that goes. Yeah. I actually had a shadow person, and I just put this on my Facebook page. So if you go to Ravenflower's Facebook page, so when I was trying to move here, my habit was Redfin. I love to look at houses on Redfin because I really particularly love, as a witch, I want to get an idea of the space. Yeah, so I love that 3D walkthrough.
Me too.
So I love it. And so and then if I really like the space, then I'll click on the maps and then hit the little man, and then I'll start going around the street. Going around the block. I
haven't taken it quite that far yet.
I will. I haven't taken it quite that far. I literally had a shadow person in a 3D walkthrough try to come through my computer the other day. And I posted the link on my page so you guys can go walk through that house.
I have to move this. I have lighting problems. Sorry. I feel like such a glare. Oh, that's better. I felt like I was like a ghost. I felt like I was a ghost myself.
You were a ghost yourself. I'm talking to Jenni Love, ghost from the East Coast.
Vampire. When I go buy makeup, I mean, if there's a shade of vampire, that's what I'm buying.
My gosh. You got to get one of these lights. Okay, so look at this light here.
It just must be too bright. Like, maybe that's the problem. Maybe
I can do 4 or 5 different things here on my light. So my light changes. So here's just blue. Here's all blue light. Now
Oh,
it's
I see.
all glowy. Here's a
No.
mix. I like the mix. And then you can turn it up, you can turn it down, you can do all this stuff. And it
See,
also holds your phone.
I think it's the camera because I have to use. Like everybody's loving the technical conversation, I'm sure.
I love it.
What do you use as a camera? Are you using your laptop? What do you
I use
use?
my phone. I use my phone.
But how do you use your phone and then use? See, that's what I'm missing because I wanted to use my phone because it would be a better camera.
Oh yeah. So I have
Person.
a Samsung 21. So I'm using the front camera of my Samsung 21. I have my
Right. I have my
laptop
phone here. I just need
open.
to figure out how to
So
get the two things together.
my laptop is here.
Oh,
Now we're
sexy.
going to remove that because that's going to give
Right.
feedback or whatever. Yeah. So I can see the comments up there, and then I just kind of come in. So I go in
I
through
can't
StreamYard.
see comments. Oh, I see now. Listen, I am this is why I'm a goober. All my people know I'm a big fucking goober, that I just don't know how to do. See, I missed all of that. Somebody says hello from Florida. Rain says, oh, hey, good morning. That's
Good
is that
morning,
my ring? I
people.
think that's
Good
my ring.
morning.
Oh, that's
Well,
fun.
I tell you, if you ever need people to come on for, chats or things like that, StreamYard makes it so easy because you don't have to download
I
anything.
have
You just have to
StreamYard.
open in Chrome.
I
I love
do,
it.
but I don't know why it wouldn't let me use it on my phone. It kept saying 404 not found. It kept telling me your link was not found. So
Weird.
that's why I came on my. I think if I would probably have to use my sign in on my phone. You know what I mean? Like I probably have
Oh,
to
yeah,
log in my login. That's
yeah.
probably why I couldn't get in. So I have to figure that out and be more I don't know, prolific at this tech thing because I'm really terrible at it. Like I'm really bad at it. Yesterday I had a client, I do online readings. I send the Zoom link, and she's like, it wasn't working. I'm like, I do 13 of these, a day. And if
Yeah,
if you hit the link and that doesn't work,
something's wrong. We are in retrograde.
I
We
can't
are.
help you. What I'm saying is I'm useless to help you. There's no one. I'm not going to be able to help you. I can't walk you through it. I can't help you figure it out. Like if you just press the button, it didn't work. No, we're done. We had to just do it on the phone. I was like, this sucks because I couldn't see her. But
Yeah.
what are you going to do? But yeah, I'm no technical person at all.
Speaking of stuff and readings, you have a special just because of this little chat.
Oh,
Would you like to talk
I
about
ran
that?
a 50% off special, 50 for all my readings. So it doesn't have to occur this weekend, but as long as you book it before the end of the weekend, it's 50% off, which is silly savings. That's a lot. I thought let's do a big scary prices. Scary
prices. Where can they find you? I'm going to put the link in the description box after this loads, but where can they find you right now?
They can find me at www.theroguewitch.com. And I'm live on TikTok also at The Rogue Witch. On TikTok a lot. TikTok is like a land unto itself. I will say that. I find it so nuts. So much energy there,
There's a lot of energy there, but I'm telling you, if you don't follow the Rogue Witch on TikTok, then you are missing the fuck out because she is so funny. I really love it when the haters come for her and
I do too.
She's just like,
I do too.
Not having it
live. And you got to be careful because they'll bully you right off. You get like reported and you get thrown off for whatever, so you got to be careful. But what did they say the other day? Somebody came in the other day and just said something just so like, oh, I know what it was. This is what they do. They just come in and they were like something about Rose. There was totally room on the board for Jack. Like why she didn't let him on, and he just like angry exclamation points, and I stopped mid sentence.
Let it go, man.
Like that's what I mean. You're just having a conversation with people, and somebody just comes in yelling about Rose in the movie, and you're just like you have to deal with it. It's just hysterical.
Oh my god. Well, it's kind of like the Ross and Rachel, like, was it a break or was it not a break? I mean, it's still that same argument. Like everybody just gets like so fired up about it. Somebody just sent me something. It was Snow. Snow was sent me, I think it was a TikTok of this people having like drinks and dinner or whatever around the table, and they are fighting so hard about whether Cedric Diggory was a hero or not in Harry Potter, and who would be a Slytherin and who would, like, they are like passionate, like there's veins coming out of their neck. I'm like, wow.
I said she was a twat because she lied to him in the first place. She said she'd never let go, and she did. I'm like, so end of discussion. She's a twat anyway. And he was like, he didn't know what to say. He just left the room. I was like, see, I got rid of them. I mean, it's really funny over there. I mean, it is really funny. But yeah, I decided to run a special today. I thought, well, we're doing spooky stories. Let me do spooky prices. You know,
spooky prices. You know what? Jump on board for this one real quick, because I found out my star seed from this woman. So I found out a past life situation. I found out all different kinds of things. I loved it so much that I was talking about it and just flitting around the house like all happy about stuff, that my husband had to have one and bought one for Father's Day for him. And he loved it so much. He's been telling people, yes.
Thank you.
You need to get on.
Yeah, I do remember it. I don't often remember them. Like to be honest, like if I had to sit back, I don't remember yours.
That's okay.
Sometimes it's very channely. Like when I'm writing them, because I access your Akashic records. For those of you that don't know what the Akashic records are, it's the hall of records of this all the souls incarnations up till now. So everybody's, and if everyone's connected, and if all this, all the lives are connected, everyone has access. And so I kind of go back and I'm granted access. It's a privilege, I feel like. And then, but I'm writing the things down as I'm getting them, and I'm pulling out information. And so a lot of it doesn't stay with me. A lot of it doesn't stay with me. It's funny. And then sometimes the entire thing will come back to me the minute somebody starts talking to me. I'm like, oh yeah. Like all of a sudden the whole thing slams in the back of my head. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that now. It's interesting work. I will say that. I'm trying to find a new word for shadow work. You will have to try to help me come up with something new. Because that's what it is, but I really need somebody said void work. I don't mind that so much. Maybe, clearing is okay, but like, the shot, do you find that the shot, I'm sorry to make like I'm not talking about shot, but shadow now has taken on this, it's like this huge thing. People are making a very big, humongous deal about, like it's like a cartoon character now.
It's taken on its own like entity, like its own thing.
Right. I'm trying to find like a new way of saying it. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know how to. It's really nerve-wracking because people
I don't know. Us Gen Xers us Gen Xers are just like, we're just working through our issues. We're just working through our issues.
Maybe it's because we're Gen Xers. That may be why. You may be right.
Yeah, because we just don't see it in the same way. And I know that generationally, there's I think right now, and especially the Gen Zers are just like in it. And then Noah had coined this phrase with me in a conversation. He gets full credit, where they stay in shadow stew, where they can't get out of the damn pot. And it's just the new word for emo. I mean, it's like, come on. Right. Part of it is moving past it.
That is perfect. It's the new word for emo. It's like,
yep.
It's now a state,
It's just like, come on. The whole point is to work through it. You got to process. You got to process through it and shift that shit. That's what you're meant to do.
They miss. See, that's what they miss, is the part of moving on from it and replacing it with something positive, right? Like I try to make that point so clear in my readings. Like, I'm going to send you home with homework, as you know. You get homework. Yep. And I say to everybody, you're going to read this for 22 days. You're not going to read it past 22 days because I don't want you to stay here. I don't want you to stay here. I don't want you to stay in the thing that we're clearing. We're done. We've cleared it. Now let's change the behavior and let's put something in its place. You got to plant a rose bush where you dug the hole. So you dug this shadow hole. What are you're going to stand there and look at it and go up?
Yeah.
Or are you going to get in it? No, you're going to plant something beautiful.
And also, it's an open void hole that something else can fall up in there. So you need to replace it with something else. And people just don't. Ooh, Wendy Beadle said black sun.
Ooh, black sun.
Black sun? Like a black hole? Like a black shadow
Oh, like
situation.
shadow work, like to call
Mm.
it shadow work. Yeah, I just don't know what to call it. I'm just trying to figure out something a little bit better. There was the funniest TikTok of a young girl standing there screaming at the top of her lungs, "Why will someone tell me what shadow work is?" And I'm like, I wish she'd call me. Like, I wish she'd call me. It's not that big a deal. Like, it's really not that big a deal.
Unless you make it one, unless you make it one. But no, I have some of my younger friends, and usually they're my kids' age, type thing, and they are just like stuck in it. And I'm like, so, and I feel like Dr. Phil, who's a total asshole, but still, I feel like Dr. Phil. And I'm just like, so how's that working for like you're the only one that's in charge of this. How long do you want to do your shadow work? It's really
Mhm.
up to you.
Right.
You
That's
have to
my fault. I
actually
was
go
going to
like
point
this.
the
You
gun.
have to
Oh,
go like
got
this.
it. I see.
You
She
have to
said,
like
yeah, my fault.
let go. Just let go of it and trust the
Like
fact
you
that you've
said.
done the work and you're moving forward. And then you have to visualize yourself in a better frame so that
Mhm.
you can get out of this shadow junk,
Right.
the misty muck, whatever you want to call it.
The mud. I always called it the mud. I'm like, listen, I'll be willing to get in the mud with anybody, but as long as we're getting out, I don't want to stay down there. We got to get out. We got to get out of the mud, you know.
Let yourself
Yeah.
out of there. Somebody's got it. Like it's like black quicksand. Like it'll take you if
No,
you
of
let it.
course. And I
Yep,
know
just
this is
like hate will
the time of
consume you.
year. Oh, I will say one of my ghost stories today was, I mean, I was just going to say, I know this time of year. It's, the veil is thinning and, we all have things, right? And I have a very teeny weeny little house, and up my staircase coming to my room, it's like half a staircase. Is it a full? I
Mhm.
don't know. Anyway, it's a full staircase. And it's my library on half the staircase going up the stairs is all my books, and they're stacked up there, right? And I went down the stairs the other day, and I didn't have sometimes if I'm wearing a robe or something, maybe it catches a book, right? But
Yeah.
I was in my suit. I was heading down the stairs to go into the hot tub. So it's just me. And when I got to the bottom of the stairs, when I tell you from the top of the stairs, she threw a book at me, like literally threw a book at me. And so I picked up the book.
What is it?
And I
Oh,
went, and I stood there and I was like, oh, okay.
all right.
So
I'm gonna take this to the
I
hot
thought
tub.
about it for a couple of days. Like I thought about it, and I was like, she threw a book at me. I mean, I know it's October, and I'm getting there, and I started the witch club, and I'm teaching the people, right? And I got 82 people in witch club. It's crazy for a year. I'm going to
That's
walk
awesome.
them through the
That's
first.
awesome.
I think it's great. Everybody's looking for this, right? And so
Mhm.
I'm doing the things. I'm teaching the people. Why you throw the book at me, lady? Like, why'd you throw the book at me, right? So the the only page that I have dog-eared, I don't even remember doing it, right? But it's the only thing is about meal offerings for her. And so I'm like, okay. And then other devotional acts, very specific devotional acts. And I'm like, okay, a little
Okay.
bossy, but okay. I have
Okay.
never had that happen. I will say that I mean, I get things, but that was interesting to say the least. I feel because, like I said, I turned around. It was by the time I got to the bottom of the stairs, it practically landed at my feet, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hi,
Yeah. I
hi."
will say that this year in particular, this Samhain season, feels a little more active than past years, and I don't know what that is energetically or what's coming around. I don't know. I do not know astrologically what you do,
We turned on too many people.
Oh, we turned on too many people.
I
It's
really feel we do
very
know.
active.
I do 7 readings a week where someone is saying to me on the other side, like, I don't know what this is, and they're usually really young, and they're
Oh,
just they're way ahead of us, light years ahead of what we were in their 20s, light fucking years ahead of what thoughts we had in 20s, but
uh-huh.
yet they want to know these things. They don't know what they're doing. They're super confused as to what they
Oh
can
boy.
do and can't do and where to go to do it, and everyone's yelling and gatekeeping, and 7 or 8 people a week, like a week. So
Damn.
they like need this. They don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ate's telling me, she
You
likes
also
mom.
have a tarot reading class coming up. Is it already shut down? Did you already get the, because I was thinking of signing up for that. I don't
I
read tarot, but I think I
do.
might. I have all these decks. I might as well read them.
I do. It's 2 classes. One is they're standalone. You could take one or the other. The
Okay.
first one's called Manifesting Through the Tarot. I
Okay.
presented it at a woman's retreat a couple of weeks ago, and everybody really loved it. So then I turned it into a little workshop. So you're you're taking your cards. Let me grab my tarot. So you're going to shuffle cards, and you're asking for a message. Like, here's the message, right? This is saying something to you. Well, why not take this and use it to get something? Like, manifest what you want. Use the the high priestess card to get something that you want, or the chariot to get a new car, or you're talking to the universe using your tarot, right? So there's techniques and things, and so that is a little one morning workshop. You don't need to know tarot at all for that, at all. You don't need to know any meanings. It has to be tarot, and you'll definitely build a better relationship with some of these techniques, implying them. And then there is Tarot 101. That's 4 weeks. Your brain will bleed. I promise. I promise. Yeah, I promise. I promise.
These are set in the new year, right? These are set in 2022.
And it's January 2022, all the Sundays. So, and there's a discount if you signed up for both. Like, I didn't want people, because there may be some overlap. So I didn't want if you wanted to do both, I didn't want you to have to pay for both. That seemed shitty of me. That seemed shitty of me.
I love it. It's not shitty.
I was like, I really can't charge that. That seems really douchebaggery of me. Like, I really can't do that. Like,
Well, that's why I love you. That's why I love you, because you definitely understand that balance, I feel, as not only as a previous shop owner, because I bought from you. And by the way, I give you a shout out, as I am high as a kite on Dilaudid right after my surgery, because I have my oil with me. And Bear is anointing all of the walls and the stuff, because ghosties find me in a hospital environment. I took your oil and I kind of remade it. I like take all the stuff out of it. I give it the cleanse. I put the energy back in, and then I put fresh oil in there, because oil goes rancid. So I've remade it. It's not exactly your blend. It will never be, but
it will be. I'm gonna send you some. I gotta make some. Right. I have all the shit. I gotta make some. I do. I haven't made it a shield you're talking about. I haven't made it in a really long time.
I'm telling you, shield is like the shit for an empathic medium. This is life-saving.
I have to make it. So you bring, like, you have a hospital thing too with ghosts. Like,
oh God, it's so bad.
I brought one home from my mother. Broke her shoulder. She fell, shattered her shoulder. So you go to the hospital. You're there for 4 days. All of that. It's crazy. And the one night I came home, and I'm sitting on the couch, and the cats are, they're practically hissing at me, and Keith looks at me and goes, "Did you bring something home?" Snarky. And I'm tired. Like, I'm just like, I have no humor. I don't care. I don't care. And I just don't care. And so everybody leaves the next morning, and I hear, and I don't hear, often, but I heard clear as a bell, like I was a man, islandy accent, had a Caribbean, I don't want to say Jamaican, but something along those lines. And then said hello like 3 or 4 times. And I sat straight up in fucking bed, and I clapped my hands a bunch of times, and I was like, go to the light. I am not your person. You hitched a ride on the wrong motherfucker. I was like, go somewhere. You are not welcome here. I have another hour to sleep. I was like, go away. Go away, go away. I was like, go the fuck away. Like, no. I was so angry. I never heard from that motherfucker again either. I felt bad, but I was like, I don't care. You came to the wrong place. I was like, I am not helping you today. I was like,
you're like, Ghost, I'm not the one. I'm not the one.
I'm not the one. I am not. I don't want you in my head. I don't want to know when I do clearings for people in their Akashic records and there's an attachment, like a person, a past person in an attachment, sometimes it's hot, they get feisty, they don't want to go, you know?
Oh yeah.
I start to sweat beforehand and I'm like, okay, motherfucker. All right. You know, you start
Let's do this.
like, all right, here we go. You know, so, but yeah, I was like, go. Nope. No. No.
Yeah, I'm literally, I've got my camera on and I don't know why I decided to do this, but I was giving witchy tips from my bedside. I can't even focus on the camera. I am like high as a damn kite. If anything, go watch the video because it's very entertaining.
I didn't realize you did a video. I saw a different video. I think it must have been after you came home, an update. I didn't see one from the fucking bed. I have to go back.
Oh my God. Yeah, so it's finally happening. I think it has a picture of like my meter, my blood sugar meter. And so I take you through my A1C test. I take you through, I'm going to go to the doctor, and then Bear and I are rolling up to the hospital, and he's not able to come with me. And luckily after surgery, they allowed him in enough time because I just won't heal because they'll just be all over me. They'll be all over me. So he was anointing with that oil. I put it on my forehead, I put it on my temples, I put it on the back of my neck. But then my friend Renee was just like, but that's only keeping them out of your head. You need to get them or whatever. She's like, can anybody anoint your room? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. So Bear was putting, symbols and sigils all over the windows, the doors, my bed, all the way around it. I had no problems.
It's good.
Absolutely no problems. But yeah, I'm high as a kite, telling you all about it, showing your oil. Like, it was ridiculous.
I made an oil for my stepdaughter when she went to college, right? Because you can't burn anything. You can't, you can't have a candle. You can't have anything, right? I'm not sending her to this fucking place and God knows where in the middle of the snow, upstate New York. She got nothing, right? She can't, nothing. So I make this oil, right? And before I leave for the day, that day when I take it and I hit the door, right? Now, I had met the roommate for about 3 seconds, like 3, enough time to watch her like run through. It's really chaotic when everybody's sort of moving in, college and stuff. And, there's 3 feet in the room and poor Allie has 4 parents there. So I'm in the hallway because, she doesn't need everybody in the room. So I only saw this little kid for a sec, right? Just a sec. And I hit the door on the way out. So for the next week, because we're checking in with Allie, and she says, she's never here. And I'm like, really? And I found that interesting. I didn't say anything to Allie, but I found it interesting. She goes, well, she lives nearby, so sometimes she goes home. And then it was like the whole first month, this fucking girl, she was barely in the room, right?
Right.
Then once it started to get real cold and she started to stay there a little bit more, Allie quickly realized that she was a fucking nightmare. And I'm like, damn. I was like, damn, that oil was working. That's why she stayed out. She was like, you're right. You're 100% right. I was like, she said, what'd you do? I said, what do you mean, what did I do? She goes, did you do something when you were here? I said, I did. I said, I did something at the door. And she's like, well, I think because it kept her out of here. And I just started the funniest thing. I was like, yeah, well, and she had to leave. She did not go back there after the first break. The first semester was with this girl. That was it. Yeah. She was a nightmare. It was really funny.
I've had them at the foot of my bed. I've had them, right next to me, just sort of like whispering in my ear. They won't get out of my face. I'll roll over. Boom, there's one there. Like, it's bad. I remember one time I was in massive amount of pain. And I'm just waiting in the emergency room, and I'm telling Bear everything that this guy is telling me. And I'm like, look up this town name. There's a chair. There's all these rocking chairs in the square, and all of the old men go out there, in the afternoon, and they drink their iced tea and they chat, and there's this and there's that. And there's like, and then he left the love of his life, had died, and now he doesn't know. And then I've actually had a ghost doctor want to like evaluate me. in my bed. I'm like, you're fucking
No.
dead. Get
Hell
away
no.
from
I feel like,
me.
no, you have to go. Stop.
It's so
I mean,
bad.
I call on a healer guide. Like I would call on a healer guide and expect that, but I wouldn't expect him to decide he's coming to evaluate me.
It's just so bad. So bad. I'm just like, where's my oil? Oh, I need the oil. Where is it?
No, that's so funny. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah.
You're a lifesaver. I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver. Lifesaver.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're talented and stuff.
I try, you know, that was funny. I remembered some other story, but now it escaped me when you were talking about,
I'm sorry. I interrupt.
no. When you were talking about that, it totally escaped. Oh no, I do remember. You were saying, describing like a scene with people, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
reminded me of my niece. My brother he took his whole family to Italy, I guess the summer before the pandemic, because it was
Nice.
right pre-pandemic. So they went to Italy for like 3 weeks, and they were in some small town. And my, you know, 3 young girls, they're all teenagers. They appreciate it to the extent my brother and his wife did? No, probably not. Right. And so there were times, you know, when the adults want to keep going. And the kids are sort of like, can we just sit by the fucking pool? Right. I mean, that's every vacation with every teenager anywhere. Right.
Yeah.
So they were in this town square, and my niece is like, she pitches a fucking fit. She's like, literally, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Nobody says fuck more than me except that kid. I gotta get the fuck out of here, she says. And my brother is like, first he's thinking, brat, right? At this point, he's thinking, really, I have spent
how much money? You're not gonna appreciate. Yeah,
losing his mind, right? But she's like, you don't understand. I got to get out of here. She leaves. Later, my sister's like, you know, she's in the tour book, right? She's in the tour book, and they're in the piazza. And she goes, oh, so in this piazza, this was where they held the public executions.
Oh,
and my muggle brother was like, because he gets so annoyed, like he gets annoyed by that. And this kid, she knows. She was like, she said, there was
get out of here.
Too many dead people. I got to get out of here. I gotta go, she says. Yeah, and my brother was like, yeah, that kid's a medium all day long. She's a medium all day long, that one. Yeah. She was the one that used to live in the room. Yeah, she's a medium all day. Yeah, it runs in the family. I just, I've
got friends. I've got friends that are like, I wish I had this, you know, talent. And I'm just like, you really don't. Like,
I don't think so.
You really don't. I refer to it as being a constantly haunted person, you know, and there's times in my life when work has been stressful, home life has been stressful, all stressful or whatever, but my home is like locked down and it's my sanctuary. And there are times I don't want to leave my home like a barn sour horse. I'm not going out there because I can't deal with any more energy. I can't do it, you know. Right. And if even going out to eat, I'm dealing with so-and-so and so-and-so's aunt, and it's like I don't see just the people in the booth.
I'm very good at keeping, like, when it comes to dead people, I'm very good at keeping them out. I think I don't know. I don't know. I'm very good at keeping them out, and I am very good at keeping the room out. I think, like, if I'm at dinner, especially. But you're right. Sometimes there's a very special someone in the room. You know, very special someone that I can't turn off. But I don't know.
They're persistent AF, man, and they just like ruin my dinner. I'm like, I paid for this shit.
Once in a while, and I usually say that I'm tired. Like I'm like, something's wrong. If I can't go to dinner, like we were just talking about going to dinner tonight too, actually. Maybe going to visit my stepdaughter in Queens, and people go, how do you go to the city? Like, I'm like, I love the energy of the city. Even though I'm in, I am the dirty empath word, which I fucking hate. Psychic, clairsentient. I love the city. I love that buzz. I think it's great. I'm off the charts excited about it. You know, I think it's awesome. I don't know. I get very buzzy on it.
There's a
Yeah.
pulse. There's a pulse. I loved being downtown. Like when I worked downtown in San Antonio, even though it's a much smaller city than New
Mhm.
York, of course, but it's like there is a buzz, there is an energy, there's a pulse to it, and
Mhm.
you're just like, oh yeah, you
New
know.
Orleans. Oh my God. I spent a week in New Orleans. Speak about haunted, right? Oh, that's a good ghost story. That's a really good ghost story. Just recently in New
Give it to
Orleans.
me.
I mean, you can't. I stay at. I'm going to try to pronounce it. I'm terrible at this accent. You know, French, I
Mhm.
suppose, but it's Place des Armes. I think it's called the Place des Armes. So
Okay.
it's spelled like place, and then
Uh-huh.
DE, and then arms, ARMES,
I think you're
and
right.
it's beautiful, super buzzy, energetically, and
Mhm.
we were in the old section for one night because we wanted to come a day early. Our one room wasn't ready, so we stay in the old section. And that night, again, we drove 24 hours. You know, you're tired. You've been, and then we went running around the French Quarter, bottle of prosecco. You know, and that
Mhm.
night, like someone sat right on my bed, and again, I'm like, get the I was just like, I just don't have the patience for you. I was like, you know, there's a lot of people in this fucking hotel that will help you. This is not, it's not me. Because it's where all the presenters for Hex Fest stayed in my hotel. I'm like, there's a lot of people here today that will
Uh-huh.
help you. I
It
am
will
not one
totally
of them. Yeah, someone else. So bad. I was just like sat on the bed. The whole bed went like that. I
Yeah.
have that happen in my house, but I was like, really, go away.
Go
I guess
away.
I'm not a very. I guess I'm not very fun to haunt. Maybe that's why I don't have very many stories. I'm not
No, I
very
like
fun.
it. No, I like it. I mean, it's a different perspective because you're just like not an accommodating ghost
No,
witch. Like
I'm
you're
not.
just like no. You're like no.
I'm really not.
I remember some of my in a reading that we had a while ago, probably a couple of years ago. My ancestors came through, and you're just like this woman, and I'm like, oh, I know who that is. I
Feisty.
was
I
dying.
think I remember that.
Yeah,
Feisty. Yeah,
feisty.
I like bossy fucking entities, obviously. I mean, and not even in that sense. You know, I'm not one of those people that have that thing where, you know, you put a statue and you can't I don't know. I'm not one of those people, and I don't think I have conversations with
Mhm,
Hecate. Like I'm not that person, but the book,
mhm.
she practically threw it at my head, and I think that that's sort of funny. I just think I was like, all right, she wants a
Oh,
meal. She's apparently hungry. I'm like, okay,
all
fine.
right. Do the things.
A little bossy. I'm like, all right, whatever, I guess, you know.
Well, she is the queen. She's the queen of witches. So,
I mean, she really is. I
yes.
admittedly, but and it is her
Mhm.
time of year, so fine. Fine.
Yep.
I heard you.
Yep. Yep. I'm having the same situation. There seems to be some sort of energetic correlation between Sekhmet and Hecate.
Mhm.
And I haven't done the full research on that, but some of the research has pointed in that direction. It may be the same deity in a different pantheon. I'm not
Sure.
exactly sure, but
Sure.
I'm getting the same thing over here. I mean, this one is like, okay, that's exactly. And what is your response? It's okay. All
Okay.
right,
Like I was
here
like,
we go.
okay, like heard.
What
I
you
think
need?
was my response. Heard. Like I went heard. You
Good.
want, you know, I'm
Noted.
something I'm not doing that you want me to be doing. If
Yeah.
we're going to continue this relationship we have, fine. And it was simple and direct, and I was like, fine. And it wasn't, you know, the skies didn't open up. There was no fire and brimstone. Tossed a fucking book and said, knock it, like, stop running around here acting like I'm your girl if you're not doing this shit. I'm like, okay.
Yes, they will tell you. They
I
will
know.
tell you. They
And
will tell you.
heard. Thank yeah, I said.
Yeah.
So we laugh. We laugh. Agreed. But now I have my let me see my little list of ghost stories. Yeah, I think I told you all my ghost stories.
Okay, you're
I have
good.
any more
Well,
ghost stories.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you
I'm like,
so
do I have
much.
any more ghost stories? I don't think I have any more. I mean, sort of my husband, like I said, really, really wanting to be the next, you know, like kindred spirits. He would want nothing more than for him and I to be like that's what he's like. I don't know why we don't have cameras following us around doing this. Like he would love that. Nothing more.
You got to set up you got to set up your RV with all this ghost hunting stuff. There you go.
Well, we had a little, I renovated my RV. I gutted it and renovated it.
I saw you had a leak.
And then I had a leak.
Yeah.
We're going up there tomorrow to see if the leak got fixed.
I know. And now we're going into winter. It's like, oh no. You might want to tarp that sucker, for the winter and handle it in the spring. I don't know.
We're going to check it out.
Well, fingers are crossed for you. Fingers are crossed for you. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And please go to theroguewitch.com. www.theroguewitch.com. I put the link in the chat right now, and then I'm going to put it in the description box when it comes in. 50% off readings.
Thank you. Thank you. There's 50% off. We have 2 tarot classes, and then there'll be a new witch club. I will say my witch club started. It's a monthly meetup. It's like a monthly mentorship. It's like a year. We, when people go, how do you start? Like we do this. How do you start? I don't know where you start. And so at the lowest possible level of no denomination to start a practice, with folks. So we do this for a year. I've done it like 4 other times with a bunch of folks. So we're going to start a new one in February. Sign up will be in February because I'm getting a lot of traffic on that too. So for that. Yeah, that'd be great. If you're interested in the tarot classes, I'd be interested to see you there, my love. That would be great.
That'd be really cool. I'm checking it out now. I get paid on Wednesday. Paid on Wednesday. Ooh. Well, thank you so much. It was good having you.
It was nice to see you. It's really nice to see everybody. I know I'm seeing everybody in the 2D lately, but that's all right. And I'm glad to see everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I will continue following, and please follow her on TikTok. Oh my God, you're doing yourself a favor.
Yeah. Come see me on TikTok.
Very good. All right. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too, honey bunny. Thank you. I appreciate you. Bye.